This trip to Fort Morris was more than just a typical visit to a historical battlefield for me. I was on a quest for a headstone of sorts. I went to find a tree that had been growing during the colonial days of Georgia's history and was said to be the place where the first Masonic ritual was performed, starting the oldest operating lodge in the West. Now, I'll leave the story of the fall of Fort Morris and the siege of Sunbury for another video, but in order to find the grave marker, I had to go down a path into the woods, cross into alligator territory, and walk along the trenches where the citizens of the Georgia colony stood and fell in the name of liberty, starting the beginning of its walk through time as a ghost town. Here are the four sides of the marker. This side shows that it was dedicated with Masonic ceremonies on February 24th, 1990, commemorating the 256th anniversary of the first Masonic meeting in Georgia and the founding of Solomon's Lodge Number 1. It was dedicated by the most worshipful Grand Master of the state and the worshipful Master of Solomon Number 1. This side lists the monument committee members and the associated lodges. This side goes over the history of Solomon's Lodge Number 1. Now this last part, I'm going to read off the side of the stone and leave it at that. Northeast of this spot stood the famous Sunbury oak of early colonial Masonic legend. The tree is said to have been of tremendous size and provided an ideal place for safe, comfortable campsites. The legend of the Sunbury Masonic oak is based on a tradition that has been passed down for generations. From the earliest days of the colony of Georgia, there is a strong belief that Georgia's first Masonic meetings were held under the protective branches of the great oak on February 21st, 1734. It is believed that General James Edward Oglethorpe himself presided over the meeting, thus introducing Freemasonry to Georgia. The lodge, which traces its beginnings to that important meeting, was the Lodge of Savannah in ye province of Georgia, now known as Solomon's Lodge Number 1, Free and Accepted Masons, the oldest continuously operating English constituted lodge in the Western Hemisphere. Today, the lodge has in its possession a gavel made from the wood of the tree, which was given to it by the family of Sheftall in 1859. Although the original Sunbury oak no longer exists, it retains a special place in the Masonic lore of Georgia. To commemorate and maintain the tradition of the original meeting site of Solomon's Lodge Number 1, we have this day, February 24th, 1990, planted another live oak, the state tree of Georgia. It is our fond hope that it too will reach the majestic proportions of its predecessor.